Hey, what's up? Excuse me. Leading a new chapter of We Can't Study. This is question 128. More than ever, what supports X is something. And here we have left the last one on quite a cliffhanger. They're heading for the center exam. We can see signs here on this lovely color page. At the start, Senta examination. But yeah, Nariyuki on his way, trying to save a little dog from getting hit by a car. I thought was going to lead to some charming little heartwarming story where he goes out of his way to help the dog and barely makes it on time, but has gained an unexpected perspective or ally or something like that. No, he fell down the dang stairs. He has seriously hurt himself, it seems. Passed out in the snow the morning of the most important test of his life. What is going to happen? And we know probably where salvation will come from. Iruka is the only one who doesn't need to actually write this exam, given that she's going to an overseas university. She'd come out to the exam site just to give support to her friends. But now that they realize Nariyuki is missing, will she be the one that leaps into action to try to save him? Let's find out. You can't get a hold of him on his cell phone. Dozens of times now. His family said that he left a while ago. The morning of the national exam, he thinks something happened to him. They're all freaking out. Oops. Put it into one-page mode. There's no use standing here fretting about it. You three get in there, focus on your test. Don't worry, I'll find a way to track down Nariyuki. Okay, so she runs off. She sends them in so they can get prepped. How is she going to find Nariyuki? Same search in just 30 minutes. There's no time to lose. Whoa! And she encounters the adorable doggy. Whoa! But what does the dog have in its mouth? Ah, so it's because Nariyuki saved the dog. Because he was first trying to go out of his way, to even wasting time on the morning of the exam, just to make sure the dog was safe. But the dog is able to help him. And then because of Iruka's big heart too, that she can't help but go and play with the dog. Even in the midst of this crisis, she just instantly drops to her knees and grabs him and hugs him. A sec. Uh-oh. Okay, so the dog has some sort of note here. We don't know what it says. Presumably Nariyuki wrote it, I thought, to send the dog out to get help because he's incapacitated. Maybe it's just something Nariyuki had on him? Because it looks like he was unconscious until just now. Immediately he bolts upright. The national exam, what time is it? So this is kind of nice that we get the exact same framing as at the end of the last chapter. That really kind of iconic looking shot. You're kind of at a distance. I said it was quite like the Yamada death pose. That's the guy's name, right? Yeah, Yama? But why can't I think of his name? The Dragon Ball Z guy that keeps losing. The guy that has the famous death pose. Yama? Whatever. All right, so we kind of were left with that image at the end of the last chapter. It was kind of haunting. It was distressing. It was ambiguous. So now we return to that exact same image with Nariyuki jolting upright. Not quite triumphantly, but at least alive. So I like that. I like that kind of resolution. His phone shattered. It's given up the ghost. It had the script and saved for so long to get it. Hopefully it's under some sort of warranty. No time to be set up on my phone right now. I gotta get to the test site. But as soon as he begins to move, pain jolting all the way through his body from his knee. This is well depicted. He really looks like he's in pain. Just the way his body moves after he tries to bend his knee. And it's not like we see his narration thinking, oh my god, this hurts so much. But he's like resolute even in his internal monologue, focusing on the idea that it's probably not broken. It's probably just badly bruised. I'm maybe still okay. slowly, slowly hauling himself up these staircases, knowing there's so little time left. Okada Furuhashi Konami-senpai. Kominami-senpai. Konami-senpai. I hope you all made it to the exam center okay. We've all worked so hard for this. I can't just give up on myself now. Oh, but his knee gives out again. Sliding back down the handrail. This is intense. This is like a type of intensity that we haven't really seen too much from this series. This sort of resolution in a purely physical arena. Overcoming just a sheer physical barrier of these slippery steps. It's pretty intense. And I mean, it's sort of a cheap trick. It's sort of just like you can throw it in there to have, you know, the big pivotal climax of the story. How will they do on the center exam? Line up with this like scene of desperation and of terror and stuff. There's no need for these things to coincide. It's just for the convenience of intensifying the plot. But at the same time, it works. It's not so cheap if you actually feel. It's not so cheap if you've actually grown attached to this character. I must really hope that he makes it. Ah! Aruka! Grabbing him. Oh! This handkerchief you had in your mouth. Yes, that dog brought the handkerchief from his whole family. They had written, oh, isn't this nice? Aruka catching him and supporting him. I found you. Okay, so they haul off together. No time for panicked, embarrassed internal monologues of, oh, we're so close together, oh, he's touching my whatever, oh, I can smell his whatever, blah, blah, blah. No time for that, no time for that. Gotta get to the exam. Still haven't seen Naruyuki at the exam center. Did you find him? Found Naruyuki. We're at the Mikage Street intersection right now. So really bad energy. Whoa! A really bad injury, and then the battery just dies. Brutal. So they won't get resolution. They're gonna panic the entire time of the exam unless they happen to see him as he's coming in. But there can't be much time left. The search began when there was half an hour left. But I guess Naruyuki was probably pretty close to the exam site when the incident happens. Test starts in 15 minutes. Walking at a normal pace, it would take 30 minutes from here. Oh, isn't everyone stressing Maria at a time like this? All of our efforts going to waste. We're going to run, Naruyuki. Just lean on me. If I run as fast as I can, we might still make it. I won't let it all go to waste. Gotcha. Okay, well, I mean, this is really going to possibly permanently injure his leg. If it is actually broken, it's going to be a lot more broken for a lot longer. You're going to go through some extreme pain, too. Getting hobbled along at a speed higher than you're healthy, comfortable when so severely injured. But I mean, this is just how it is, I guess. There's no calling the exam center. I mean, they don't have their phones anyways, but it's not like the exam center would give a shit. They'd be like, oh, that's too bad. You had yourself a little fall, huh? Well, that's truly a shame. Better luck next year. This is the reality of taking tests in Japan. Okay, and they're off. 7 minutes left. There's no way we're going to make it. I don't know what the physical logistics of this are. Like, shouldn't Naruyuki just fall over? But whatever. Even so, if someone is there giving me support, then I've got to give it my best until the very end, even if I don't make the test. Somehow, every step we take right now has got to matter. I like that. I really like that mentality. Somehow, every step we take right now has got to matter. If someone is supporting you, if someone is putting themselves out there for you, then the least you can do is return their efforts. Even if it amounts to nothing. And maybe in this case, it seems incredibly likely that it will amount to nothing. You have to honor the fact that they were willing to try. right? You have to make that meaningful for them. That's the foundation of good relationships. That's the foundation of truly caring for one another. It isn't just in the outcomes, it's in the intents, and it's in recognizing these intents. You know? It doesn't really matter whether or not they make it in terms of how he should feel about Iruka's sacrifice here and how hard she's trying. Thank you. Thanks to you. Whoa! Hell yeah! Let's go! I thought something like this might happen. You gotta get involved. You gotta get Sensei involved too. She's not taking the test either. She, of course, had set out earlier after running into the examinees. But I guess, even though they're a little freaked out by her, Fuminochi or Ogata had managed to call her. Had managed to say, something's terribly wrong with Nariyuki. Can you please go look for him? 10 minutes early. It's no use. We have to find out what Iruka was talking about. Something happened to Nariyuki. That's true. They've really just got to give it their best. You know, there's nothing they can do to help him. Feel it? Stupid Kohai, what are you doing? Woo! So Sensei showed up again. I guess she was still kind of patrolling around the grounds. Yeah, enlist her. Get her into action. Don't worry, leave this to me. Oh, good, they buckled up. Alright, phew. No unsafe driving, even in this emergency of emergencies. On the phone, you told Furuhashi your location. Got you get onto a major street where I could pick him up. Wouldn't have made it otherwise. Totally. And of course, she's a crazy driver. But she got him there. The other two crying with relief. Even Senpai's expression is so complex here. She's trying to look aloof. Kind of like, yeah, alright, sure, you made it. Like, what an idiot. But she can't really keep it up. You can tell that deep down she's just also completely flooded with relief. Alright. Quick shots of everybody else. So in the end, not an absolutely crazy conclusion. He just gets in his seat on time. The exam begins. And I wonder, how will this exam be depicted? This is, of course, the most important exam that the series has covered so far. This is one of the big ones that they've been building to for all 128 chapters. I kind of want to have a little arc showing them during the test, showing them dealing with the questions that they struggled with most. This is something that, of course, Assassination Classroom still sets the gold standard for their exam arcs that really masterfully wove, like, actually kind of sometimes some interesting challenges that could have been pulled from such tests into these wonderful analogies of battling monsters and stuff. I don't expect that. That would be very out of character for this series, to have a full-on, like, kind of fantasy analogy development. But what I would like to see is just taking this as an opportunity for some, like, retrospective, for the characters to have these kind of quiet moments to themselves, to think back to things they had struggled with purely academically, how Nariyuki had helped them, maybe some other incident that kind of, like, inspires them to become more resolute on the test, or even inspires them towards some exact answer. I think this is a really good opportunity for that kind of thing. It would be very sentimental, very nostalgic, good kind of series retrospective stuff. You know, I hope they do something like that. At the same time, I'd be fine with just cutting to after the exam, seeing how they felt about it, and then the long anticipation of when the results will come out and stuff. So there's a lot. There's a lot coming up. Big moments for this series are going to be happening in the next few months, I'm sure. And then after that, who knows? Like, I suppose there's going to be another kind of round of testing for them to get into their individual schools. Those will be more intensely individual character focused. And then graduation? Series ends? I don't know. We'll have to see. Okay. Nice chapter. We'll see what happens next week.